Back right when things are getting good, most people read it as rejection. It's usually not. It's often a test, and the test isn't about you being wanted less. It's about you being wanted more carefully. Playing hard to get isn't a trick pulled out of a dating manual. It's older than manuals. It's wired into how attraction and risk get evaluated in the brain, long before either person consciously decides anything. Tonight, we're not going to talk about games. We're going to talk about why the pullback happens, what it's actually protecting, and how to read it without losing your mind in the process. There's a moment almost everyone in a situationship recognizes. The good morning texts stop feeling instant. The energy that felt like main character momentum starts to feel like static. And the first instinct is panic. What did I do? But scarcity doesn't usually appear because interest died. It appears because interest is being protected. Psychologically, this connects to what's called the scarcity principle. Something perceived as limited or hard to access is automatically coded by the brain as more valuable. This isn't unique to romance. It's the same wiring behind limited drops, last-minute deals, only 2 left in stock. Dating just happens to be the arena where it plays out with someone's heart instead of a shopping cart. When a person creates distance, they're often, not always, but often, testing whether your interest is real or whether it was just convenience. It's giving, prove you actually want this, even if neither person would phrase it that way out loud. But here's what's underneath that. Pulling back is rarely just strategy. It's frequently self-protection dressed up as strategy. Someone who has been hurt by moving too fast learns, sometimes without realizing it, to slow the pace as a way of testing safety before they let themselves feel anything real. This is where attachment theory does some quiet work. A person with an anxious avoidant push-pull pattern might crave closeness and fear it in the same breath. So they create just enough distance to see if you'll chase, because being chased feels like proof you won't leave first. If this sounds familiar, that's not a coincidence. Almost everyone has either done this or been on the receiving end of it, usually both, usually with different people, usually without naming it out loud. And this is where it gets quieter. There's a second layer underneath the testing, cognitive dissonance. If someone likes you a lot faster than they expected to, sometimes the brain tries to correct that speed. Liking someone too much too soon can feel destabilizing, almost embarrassing, especially for someone who prides herself on being unbothered. So the pullback isn't just testing you, it's regulating her own nervous system. She's not just asking, does he want me? She's asking herself, wait, why do I want him this much already? What happens next is the part no one warns you about. This is where most men get it wrong in one of 2 directions. Direction 1, they disappear. The second, things get quiet, reading distance as disinterest, which confirms her fear that liking someone fast leads to losing them fast. Direction 2, they overcorrect, chasing harder, flooding her phone, turning a natural rhythm shift into pressure, which usually pushes the distance further instead of closing it. Neither reaction is really about her. Both are anxiety talking, dressed up as effort. The healthier read is neither chase nor disappear, it's calibrate. Notice the shift without narrating it. Match her energy instead of trying to outpace it. This does 2 things psychologically. First, it removes the audition pressure. She's no longer performing distance to see if you'll perform panic. Second, it signals something that reads as rare in a culture built on instant response: emotional stability. Stability is quietly one of the most attractive traits a person can display because it suggests you won't collapse the moment things get uncertain, and uncertainty in early dating is basically guaranteed. There's also a version of this that isn't about testing at all. It's about power. Sometimes distance is used less like a question and more like leverage, especially by someone who has learned that being the chased one keeps her in control of the pace, the terms, and the exit. This is closer to intermittent reinforcement, warm enough to keep you hooked, distant enough to keep you guessing. And it's the version worth watching for because it isn't self-protection anymore. It's a pattern, and patterns repeat on a schedule. The difference between the 2 isn't subtle once you know what to look for. Testing tends to resolve. The distance closes again once trust builds, and warmth returns proportionally to how calm you stayed. Leverage doesn't resolve, it resets. Every time you close the gap, a new gap appears, always just far enough to keep you reaching. One is a nervous system finding its footing. The other is a dynamic that needs you a little destabilized to keep functioning. Here's the quiet truth underneath all of it. Distance is never actually about you as much as it feels like it is in the moment. It's about what closeness threatens to expose in the other person. Vulnerability, fear of being wrong about someone again, fear of wanting something that could be taken away. Reading someone's pullback correctly isn't about decoding her. It's about staying regulated enough in your own body that you're not just reacting to the gap, you're actually paying attention to what kind of gap it is. That's the part worth sitting with, not how do I get her to stop pulling away, but can I tell the difference between someone testing whether it's safe to want me back and someone who needs me anxious to feel in control? One of those deserves patience, the other deserves an exit. If you've lived this, you don't need me to tell you it's real. You've already spent a night rereading a text, trying to find the moment it changed. Tell me in the comments the exact moment you knew, whether it was a test or a pattern. And if this one hit close, there's a video right after this that goes even deeper into how attachment styles decide who chases and who gets chased. Worth watching next. See you back here tomorrow.